We follow Keller, a father searching for his missing daughter. When the police fail and the truth stays hidden, Keller takes matters into his own hands. His choices lead to violence, fear, and consequences no one can escape. Keller and his son prayed before hunting a deer. On the way home, Keller praised his son's shot. That Thanksgiving evening, Keller went to his neighbor Franklin's house with his wife Grace, their son Ralph, and their younger daughter Anna. Franklin lived there with his wife Nancy and their daughters, Eliza and Joy. While dinner was being prepared, the children went outside. Anna and Joy played together, with Ralph and Eliza nearby. The two girls noticed a large van parked close to the house and approached it, knocking on its side out of curiosity. Ralph and Eliza quickly stopped them and rushed everyone back inside. Dinner passed without incident.
You hear that? Somebody's in there.
Later, Anna told Grace she wanted to look for a whistle she had lost while playing with Joy. Grace allowed the girls to go with Ralph and Eliza. When it was time to leave, Keller called for Anna and Joy, but they did not answer. Ralph and Eliza said the girls had never mentioned going anywhere. Alarm spread through both families. Keller searched his house, then the area nearby. The girls were gone. Ralph realized the van they had seen earlier was missing. Keller called the police. The van was soon found, and Detective Loki took the case. When Loki approached, the driver tried to flee, crashed into a tree, and was arrested. He acted strangely during questioning and gave few answers. His name was Alex, and he lived with his aunt.
Plan on taking 2 little girls?
No.
You done that before?
No.
At her house, Loki learned Alex's parents had died years earlier. A photo of Alex's uncle was found, and the aunt said her husband had left after an argument long ago. No evidence turned up, and forensic tests on the van showed nothing. Search teams combed the nearby woods.
Anna!
Loki later told Keller that Alex had the mental ability of a 10-year-old. Keller refused to accept it, insisting such a person could not drive a van. He pleaded for Alex to be held, but with no evidence, the commissioner ordered Alex released after 48 hours.
He stays in custody until my daughter's found, right? Right?
Loki continued working the case, questioning neighbors near Keller and Franklin's homes. During the search, he went to a local priest's house. After repeated knocks with no answer, Loki looked through a window and saw the priest lying on the floor. He forced the door open and found an empty bottle nearby. The priest was unconscious from drinking. Loki searched the house and discovered a hidden cellar. Downstairs, he found a decomposing body. He woke the priest and demanded an explanation. Shaken, the priest confessed that years earlier, a man had admitted to killing 16 children and said he would continue. Believing the man could not be allowed to live, the priest killed him and hid the body. Loki arrested him.
He said he'd killed 16 children. He bragged about it.
The next day, Keller and Franklin searched the woods with police. Keller received a call from Grace, who told him Alex was being released. Keller rushed to the station. Outside, reporters surrounded Alex. Keller pushed through the crowd, knocked Alex down, and demanded to know where the girls were. Alex replied vaguely, saying the children were happy with him. Police pulled Keller away and detained him. Keller later repeated Alex's words to Loki and the commissioner. Loki returned to the aunt's house and questioned both of them. Alex denied making the statement. Loki questioned him alone, but Alex continued to deny it. Given Alex's mental limitations, Loki believed he was telling the truth and concluded Keller had misunderstood. He told Keller that Alex would not be held again.
Can't waste any more time on this guy. Right, you're gonna have to trust me.
Grace collapsed in tears, unable to cope with Anna's disappearance. Keller told Ralph to stay with her and left. Angry and desperate, Keller decided to act alone. He waited near Alex's home, abducted him when he stepped outside, and took him to his abandoned house, locking him inside the bathroom. The next day, Keller brought Franklin to the abandoned house and told him he planned to force Alex to talk through torture. Franklin hesitated, but fear for their missing children pushed him to agree.
Can't see. If you're not going to talk, Alex, I'm going to have to hurt you.
At the same time, Loki continued investigating. He visited the house where Alex's van had been parked the day the girls disappeared. The property was locked and for sale, so Loki tracked down the owner, an elderly woman. She told him her son Barry had been kidnapped from that same house 26 years earlier. She also remembered a van parked outside the day he vanished. Despite years of searching, she never found him.
No one could ever tell me what happened to him.
Loki questioned the priest again and learned the man in the basement had kidnapped children in broad daylight. The priest described his actions as a war against God. Meanwhile, Keller repeatedly beat Alex, but Alex insisted he knew nothing. Franklin grew uneasy and began to sympathize with Alex, while Keller remained convinced of his guilt. That night, a candlelight vigil was held for the missing children, and Loki attended. He noticed a man acting strangely and avoiding eye contact. When the man realized Loki was watching, he ran. Loki chased him, but the man escaped after briefly attacking him. Later, Loki worked with a sketch artist to create the suspect's image, which was quickly shared across the city.
Fled on foot when the investigating detective attempted to question him.
When Franklin saw the sketch, doubt set in. He began to believe Alex might be innocent and told Keller, who insisted Alex was working with the man. Loki soon learned Alex was missing. Around the same time, a mall employee called to report the suspect had visited several times to buy children's clothes in different sizes. Loki asked her to alert him if the man returned. Overcome with guilt, Franklin told his wife Nancy about Alex's kidnapping. Furious, Nancy went with Franklin and Keller to the abandoned house. Keller claimed Alex was connected to the man in the sketch. Inside, Nancy saw Alex badly injured. She questioned him about her daughter, and Alex denied everything, begging to be released.
Help me. Help me.
Feeling sorry for him, Nancy untied Alex. He shoved her aside, smashed the window, and grabbed a sharp piece of glass. Her scream brought Keller and Franklin running. Alex tried to escape, but they restrained him and locked him up again. Keller beat him once more, yet Alex still denied any involvement. Franklin's doubts deepened, while Keller remained certain Alex was responsible. Franklin and Nancy could no longer accept what Keller was doing. They knew it was wrong, but fear for their daughter kept them silent. That night, a man broke into their house while their older daughter was bathing. Franklin and Nancy returned home in time, and the man fled. He then went to Keller's house and entered Anna's room. Grace heard a faint noise but found nothing. Moments later, she noticed her bedroom window open. The man was gone. Terrified, Grace screamed, and Ralph rushed in. She immediately called Loki. When Loki arrived, Grace showed him an underground shelter Keller had built, stocked with months of supplies. She mentioned Keller had been staying out late, claiming he was working with police. Loki knew this was false. In the shelter, he noticed sodium hydroxide, a chemical used to dissolve bodies, which raised his suspicions.
I was gonna ask you, he's been out searching with the police for Anna.
Loki secretly followed Keller and saw him park near a liquor store, then head toward his old house. A honking truck alerted Keller, who noticed Loki and changed course, entering the store instead. He came out drinking and confronted Loki. Keller denied knowing where Alex was, said he was drinking from grief, and admitted lying to his family. He claimed the chemical was from when his dog died. Loki warned him and left, unconvinced.
Why you followed me?
At the station, Loki discovered Keller's father had died by suicide years earlier in the same house where Alex was being held. Keller returned there to continue torturing Alex. When he sensed Loki nearby, he warned Alex to stay quiet and pretended to be drunk.
I rise and shine.
Loki entered and began searching the house, stopping just short of the bathroom. Before he could go further, his phone rang. The mall employee reported the suspect had returned and fled again, but this time she had captured his license plate. Loki left immediately to follow the lead.
Yeah.
Loki reached the suspect's house and found him inside. The man panicked, tried to block the door, and fought back, but Loki forced his way in, restrained him, and searched the house. In the bedroom, Loki found several locked containers. Most held blood-stained clothes layered over poisonous snakes. One container was different, filled with strange drawings. Loki sent the clothes for forensic testing. At the station, Loki showed photos to the families. Joy's parents identified an item and collapsed in grief before leaving. Keller was called in next. When he saw a small sock, he recognized it as Anna's and lost control. Furious, he blamed Loki for chasing the wrong suspect and stormed out. At home, Keller warned Ralph to avoid reporters and told him to throw away newspapers so Grace would not see the news. He promised his son he would find Anna.
That's what's up.
Loki questioned the suspect, who said his name was Bob Taylor. Bob gave no clear answers and claimed the drawings were a map to the girls, though they looked like a maze. After hours of silence, Loki confronted him. During the struggle, Bob grabbed an officer's gun and killed himself. With no proof tying him to the crime, the case stalled. Keller returned to Alex and promised to free him if he told the truth. After a pause, Alex said the girls were in a maze, then went silent again. Confused, Keller visited Alex's aunt. He apologized and she let him in. She explained that she and her husband had lost their faith after their son died of cancer and later adopted Alex. She said a childhood accident had limited his speech. When Keller asked about a maze, she showed no reaction. Keller then learned about Bobby's death from a newspaper on the table. At the station, Loki studied photos from the priest's basement and noticed a locket on the corpse. Its symbol matched the maze Bob had drawn. As he considered this, another officer urgently called him to Bob Taylor's property. While digging in the yard, police uncovered 2 buried mannequins. At first, they appeared to be children's bodies. Further tests showed the blood on the clothes found in Bob's house was pig's blood, not human.
Guys, they told me that all the blood that we sampled from the plastic containers, pig's blood.
As the investigation continued, Loki learned Bob had been kidnapped as a child. He had escaped but was repeatedly drugged, damaging his memory. His abductor was never caught. Police concluded Bob was not a kidnapper, but a traumatized victim. News about Anna and Joy triggered his past, leading him to believe he was responsible. The girls' clothing in his house had been stolen earlier during a visit to Keller and Franklin's home. The rest of the clothes were new and unused. Soon after, Grace called Keller to say the police had found Joy. She was alive but hospitalized. Anna was still missing. They rushed to the hospital. Keller asked Joy what had happened. Weak and shaken, Joy said Keller had come close while they were being held, but the kidnapper covered their mouths. Both girls tried to escape. Anna was caught again, but Joy ran until she collapsed in the street and was taken to the hospital by a stranger.
You live it?
It was where?
It put tape on her mouth.
After hearing this, Keller paused, then suddenly rushed out. At the same time, Loki was heading toward Joy's room. He saw Keller leaving and tried to stop him, but Keller ignored him and drove away. Loki followed but lost him. Suspecting Keller had gone to his old house, Loki went there at once. As soon as he arrived, he heard screams from inside. They were Alex's. Loki entered cautiously and found Alex locked in the bathroom, badly injured. He freed him, but Keller was nowhere to be found.
Come on in and make me a cup of tea.
Keller went to Alex's aunt's house, convinced she was responsible. She let him in calmly, but when he questioned her, she pulled a gun. She forced Keller to handcuff himself, made him drink a drug liquid, and let him outside. She then confessed that after losing her child, she and her husband turned against God and kidnapped many children.
Forgot all about Bobby Taylor till I read about him in the paper.
Alex was one of them, and his real name was Barry. Bob Taylor had also been their victim. She ordered Keller to move a car in the yard. When he did, a hidden lid was revealed. Beneath it was a deep pit. She said the girls had been hidden there during the police search. When Keller refused to climb in, she shot him in the leg and forced him down. She sealed the pit and told him she would soon throw Anna's body inside. In the darkness, Keller turned on his flashlight and found Anna's red whistle.
Love for you to still be alive when I dump your daughter's body down there.
At the station, the commissioner told Loki to notify Alex's aunt that Alex had been found. Loki rushed to her house. When no one answered, he entered. Inside, he noticed a photo of her husband wearing the same locket found on the corpse at the priest's house. Realizing the truth, Loki followed a sound and found the aunt injecting Anna. He aimed his gun. She fired and he fired back. Both shots went off at once. The aunt was killed instantly. Loki was badly wounded. Despite his injury, Loki grabbed Anna and rushed her to the hospital. She survived because only part of the poison had been injected. Anna and Joy were reunited with their families, and Alex was returned to his biological parents. Keller, however, remained trapped in the pit. Later, after recovering, Loki returned to the house. In the quiet yard, he heard a faint whistle coming from underground and moved toward the sound. And with that, the story ends. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more of the best film recaps.